What's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. This is almost like day 4 of me working on this little project out here, do some grounding. And I'm ready to connect up some of my ground rods here. I went out and purchased some 4-gauge copper wire, solid copper wire. And that chose to be a little bit of a, or turned out to be a little bit of a task. One, I live out here in an area where there's not a lot of, there's a whole lot of stores and things like that. And I don't know if a lot of people do projects like this. So even the Lowe's where I went to go grab some wire only had 50 feet of number 4. And it was expensive. So I got 50 feet of it, and I'm going to put that in today, and then I'll have to get in the car maybe Friday morning. Today is Wednesday, so maybe Friday I get in the car and maybe head over to the next town east of me and see if I can track down some. I wanted to get a 100-foot roll and bring it down here. It would make it all the way around the whole shop and down to the tower. Pretty close, but I wasn't able to do that, and they only had one roll of 50. So, and that stuff's not cheap. It was about $67 for 50 feet, and then I called the one and only that I believe electrical supply store here in town, and they wanted about $2 a foot. So that was all. So that was more expensive than going with the Lowe's route. I'm not a big fan of Lowe's. But I will put in the 50, and I didn't want to piece it. I wanted to start from that corner and come around here with one piece. I would have liked to have had like 200 feet and start over here at the tower, go all the way around the shop and come back one piece. But that's not going to work out for me, so that's just the way it's going to have to go. You got to do these things within a budget and do the best you can with the tools you have and the tools you have access to and the money you have available and the money you want to put into it. I don't think for 1 minute that this is going to stop my tower or my house or anything like that from being hit if it's going to get hit. And it's not for directing lightning to the ground. All it's here for is to take the charged particles that are in the ground and drain them off before I maybe get hit. So there's a lot of, oh my gosh, there's a lot of talk about grounding and what you should do, and everybody's idea is different from the others. So I'm just following what would be done at a commercial site, and we'll just see where it goes from there. I got hit without grounding. I think I know why. It's a good chance that I'll be hit again, but who knows? So we'll see if this does any good for me. And we'll have a talk about lightning. I got some lightning stories for you, not just the one that happened to me here, but when I was working. So some real close calls. So we will put some wire in today. I'll backfill. One of the reasons why I'm trying to get this done now is because we got some rain coming, and I want to try to get these my little ditches full, backfilled before it rains, because they're going to fill up with water, and it's going to cause some. If we get a good downpour, it's going to cause some flooding issues around my shop and around the outside of it. So I don't want that to happen, because I don't want water to somehow find its way into my shop. So I want to try to make sure I can get some of these, or if not all, this, all the wires connected up and everything backfilled. So it looks like I'm going to have one one part where two 50-footers are going to be pieced together. So I don't think it's going to hurt anything, but it's just the way I am. I'd rather have one long continuous run with no joints, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So yeah, that's the way I am. I really want to have the whole thing done in one piece, but it's not going to happen. So it's just too cost prohibitive. We're talking If I would have bought the 100-foot roll from the dealer here in town, that would have been about $150 for 100 feet. So I didn't want to go that way. I just don't have that kind of money available for this project. So we'll do what we can do. And that's what you got to do sometimes. So we'll see. And it might not ever cause a problem, but I'm going to map out where each one of these locations are for each rod. So if I want to come back at some time and CAD weld them, I can. So if I CAD weld it, then it doesn't really make a difference. So I think I got a friend who's my climber who can CAD weld, so I don't have the money to give him right now for that. So I'm going to mark out each location, so when I do get some money, I can maybe have him come back here and CAD weld all my joints together. So that's the way you got to do it sometimes. You got to piece it together. So I'm going to get busy and run some wire, and then I'll check back in with you. Thanks for being here today. Alrighty, I got all my acorns on here. I got 5 of them. I probably need more, but I'll start out with 5. Just kind of work my way down with it and see what happens. So yeah, this is going to be tough because this stuff's pretty solid, you know. Well, of course it's solid, but it's pretty stiff, put it that way. Let's see how fast I am at this. So I want this one to be kind of low. Well, I'm going to be bringing in another wire to this one. So I'll raise it up a little bit. So I can always come back and hammer them in a little bit more. Let's see. Put it like that. Huh. Something I don't like. A little bit of the label there. Let's get that off. These acorns are 1/2 inch drive. All right, there's one. I'll just keep going all the way down the line and hook as many to them as I can. So that's the way it'll be. And I'll just go all the way down. Then when I get this trench coming from the tower to the front, through the front of the shop, I'll connect it up here. And that'll be a joint there. So I will mark out from the corners, I'll map it out. Like I have I'll draw a drawing of the shop and then measure out from the corners, you know, on two intersecting lines here, and get how far away from this corner and where it's at, and mark that on my map. That way, if I want to come back later to these and CAD weld these, I can dig up each individual joint, and we can CAD weld those. So that's my plan. So once I get this whole end filled up here, or get this wire in this one end, then I can backfill this and bring the gravel back in here and try to dress up this area before we get any rain. A lot of the rain comes from the other side behind me, comes downhill and comes through here and comes downhill the other way. So it comes down here and then goes this way. I kind of have the gravel laid in here so it'll kind of follow it around and go over that side of the property. So I need to get this part here, this end of the shop, for sure done today and get it backfilled and get all the gravel back today. So that's what I'm going to work on. So you can cross your fingers I get this part of it done anyway. Oh boy. It's really hard on my thumb. Remember, I hurt my thumb. It's pretty hard on it right now. I have to try to use another way to do this. Get out of there. This one here is going to get another wire in it. So I got to make sure I don't completely cover this one up, because I have my pigtail that goes into the shop here. So I need to make sure I leave that where I can get back to it. All right. There's my first section here. So let me work on this and come back and we'll take a look at what I've gotten done. Oh boy. Yeah, it's not easy working with this stuff. It's pretty stiff. Especially when I didn't make my holes long enough or wide enough. My trenches. I really wanted to make it tight. And it's kind of tight, you know. I can only pull this stuff so much. So we do the best we can. There we go. I really probably should go get a wrench and do it with a wrench. That way I can get in here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll go grab a 1/2-inch wrench so I can keep these acorns like this, and I can kind of keep just loop over and then send it this way instead of having too much of a kink in it or anything. So let me go grab a half-inch wrench and we'll do it with that. All right, I got my 1/2-inch wrench here and we'll try it with that. Excuse my voice today. I have a little bit of a allergy thing going on, I guess. My voice is a little raspy today for some reason. All right, well, that's 3. I'll just keep on moving down the line until I get to the point where I run out. We'll see what happens. Just kind of clean my trench out a little bit. Trying to get this stuff over here down as far as I can. Like I said in the other video, I got some things that I have planned for this area. So I want to make sure that I try to bury it as deep as I can. And, something there to kind of hold it down a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work for me or not. All right, let's move to the next one. "50 feet. Don't go too far, does it?" All right. right there. Trying to get it sort of angle it down. This trench here, this back trench, is a little bit deeper than the front, or the side, sorry. That's not right. Oh, am I gonna be able to get it back off here? Come on. There we go. There we go. That's better. See if I can push this down just a little bit more. Trying not to kink it, trying not to, try to make my curve here, my corner here, a little bit of a sweeping type curve. But you can only do what you can do. So see, I'm not really trying to kink it or anything. It is a little bit kinked over here. Maybe we can lift it up a little bit and just bring it around like that. So I don't have this big kink in there. I don't know that that's gonna cause a problem, but I don't want to find out later that I should have not kinked it. So there. All right, so I got a little bit more left. Maybe I can connect up 2 more, and then I can backfill all this and get this part of the driveway back again. This is my area that I'm really concerned about flooding. This is along the side of the shop. All the water, I don't know if you can see behind me, will come down this hill and go this way. Behind the shop, there's a culvert that will help take this away. So, but I don't want my trenches to be full of water, which will happen. So I'll probably do this today and then backfill, try to get the gravel in today, and then come back and do the rest of it and backfill that in, hopefully before the rain comes. So that is my plan. I probably told you a couple of times already what my plan was. So we'll try to get this done today. Now this over here is also going to have another wire coming out of it. So I'm going to have to keep this from being backfilled. So I need to find a way to either A, just not backfill it, or B, cover it up somehow so the rain doesn't wash all the dirt in. Yeah, I've talked at length with people about, you know, grounding and how to do it and what they think. And everybody's got a different idea of why you do it and how you do it. So just take it with a grain of salt. You know, take it all, even what I say. Just take it with a grain of salt. I don't like that down there. I don't like the way I did that. I'm trying not to have any sharp bends. Let's straighten that up a little bit. That's better. That's better. And try to get maximum, maximum contact with the rod. So you want to make sure this part here is parallel with the rod. I'm gonna have to cut this thing out of here. It's right up here by my rod. It's right up here. And I think that goes to this oh my gosh, pecan tree, which I want to get rid of. I'm gonna hook my cable in, and then I'll come back with a chainsaw, a small chainsaw, and just cut this off and get it out of here before I bury this all. Okay, that's a pretty good sweeping curve there. All right. So I'll have a choice to make when I get the other 50 feet, and that's whether to join these two together there or here. And I think it's going to be here, and like I said, I might come back and have each one of these CAD welded in time, and then that would just be naturally joined with a CAD weld. So yeah, so this little piece here I'll probably just snip it off. Alright, wow, well, that just went fast, didn't it? Because I couldn't get the whole 100 feet. That stinks. So I'm going to go back and backfill this other area and backfill in here. Well, first, before I do any backfilling, I got to make my map. So I'll make my map, come back, backfill the areas that I've got the cable in. Leave this one over here behind the camera here open, because that's where my jumper is going into the shop. So I need to leave that one open. Then the rest of the way, I'm not going to put this one in down here that I talked about. I'll come back at another time if I want it, but I'm not going to put it in. Simply because I want to put it in nicely, and where it comes into the building, I want it nice and waterproof and looking like a professional did it, so I need to hold off on that one. I don't really need it right now, but if I ever do, I'll come back and put it in there. So my next step is to go into the shop, make a drawing of the shop, and come out and measure each one of these, how far they are, where they're at from the corner. My corner here, this corner here is going to be my reference ground rod. and then all other ones will be measured off for length, how far away from that one, this one, or that, how far away from that rod this one is, and how far away from the building is, so I can kind of triangulate it in here from both sides. With down there, that corner is my reference, and then the other first corner we did, that's going to be my other reference. So, all right, let's get that done, and we'll get these trenches backfilled, and we'll move on. Yeah. Alrighty, I've done a lot of work here, and this is my corner here, and this one here is where my drop is. My pigtail is going to be for the breaker, the sub panel. So I filled in my trench here, and I compacted it with the manual plate compactor. And then if we go around here, I got this part done. This is open here because this is where my other pigtail goes. So I gotta get these roots out of here, and then hook up my pigtail there. And then over here I left it open here because that's where I'm splicing in my second run here. So I got this all left to do. So anyway, I got this looking pretty good. So I know it's going to settle a little bit when I get rain in here. But we will see what happens. I'll just add some more gravel if I need it. But like I said, I'm not really worried a whole lot because this is going to be dug up probably this time next year. This whole area here is going to be dug up. So not really too concerned about it. But I did want to tell you that I'm going to grab my rake here to give you a little info. When I first moved here, the shop here used to flood bad. Whenever we got a decent rain, it'd flood. Well, as I also said before, I'm down probably about, I don't know, probably 5 feet, 6 feet lower than up there. And now all the dirt, when it rains, all the erosion comes in here, and it settles in this area. And if you can remember back to one of my earlier videos, at the beginning of everything, I came in here with a box blade and cleaned this all out once already. So this is actually the third time. This will be the third time when I come in here again and do it. When I moved here, the soil had worked its way up about just underneath this siding here. So whenever we got a heavy downpour, it would go underneath the bottom plate and come on inside the shop. Then over here, this whole length over here, it used to come in over here too. And when I moved here, the gravel that they had in the driveway was probably up somewhere around here to here. So well over the top of the, well, it was probably like right underneath this part, this half of the siding here. So anytime it would rain heavily, it would fill this, as the water was passing through, it would leak underneath the bottom plate. Well, I came and took all the gravel away, took about 2 inches of soil away, and then I never had that problem again. And then when I did it this time, I took probably about another 3 inches of soil away, because I want to bring at least 2 inches in to this area here with this gravel pile here. So hopefully I don't cause any issues. I don't think I will. I need it to flow this way and around this corner and down the hill. So this is kind of like a plateau here where we're coming down off of here and transitioning through this area here, and then it turns the corner, then goes downhill. Turns the corner and goes downhill. Now all this is downhill, probably about 25 feet. So I need to move the water in that direction. So hopefully when I'm done moving gravel around, I'll have that back again. So that's my plan. So anyway, it's looking pretty good. So tomorrow I will work on moving this gravel back and pushing it back in here and raking it out real nice and see what I can do. about getting this rain to go in the right direction. So we'll see. And then the next day is Friday, then I'll go pick up some more wire and we'll finish wiring everything and backfilling the trenches. And then by then it'll be raining maybe. So let's hope I make it. Okay, I'm back in the shop. It's hot outside. I'm done with the manual labor for today, and phase 1 is looking pretty good. Friday I go get some more wire and wire the rest of them up, make another video maybe, show you where I'm at. Tomorrow I'm going to start moving the gravel back in place, so I might video that. I don't know. It's a lot trying to video while you're trying to drive that tractor in reverse all the time, pushing everything. I don't have a bucket, so I'm pushing it. So that's a lot of work, and then I got to get off and hand rake everything. So with a big rake. So hopefully I'll get that finished tomorrow and be done before the rain comes. We're supposed to have a chance of rain on Friday, and also some decent storms on Saturday. So we'll see if I can get this done by then. I'd love to get it done and get to at least get everything, all the trenches all filled back up again, and then let it rain and let everything settle, and I'll fix it from there. And I'll be able to see whether my water is going to flow or I want my water to go. So I hope this is entertaining to you. I was going to take some video of me actually doing the work, but there's too much going on when you're doing that, and I don't have the proper camera for that. So I just did what I could. But I appreciate you being here today and, you know, spending some time with me and seeing what I'm up to. And by all means, give me your comments about the ground around your shack and why you put it there and why you may not have put one in and how you did it. And we'll see in time what this does for me. Like I said, I know why I want it. So we'll see if that serves the purpose. So anyway, thanks for being here. Leave a comment and a thumbs up, and that'll help me out a lot, and I appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you. Until next time, bye.